Let's have a look at the full list of Oscar nominations. They were all just announced earlier today, and Oppenheimer led the pack with 13 nominations in 3 of the acting categories: picture, director, screenplay, cinematography, costume design, film editing, makeup and hairstyling, production design, score, and sound. So it got a lot. I think it deserves a lot, and like the original person who made this list, Andre here, by the way, quick shout out to him. I'm using his list for my video here. Oppenheimer is definitely worth seeing. I think it's one of the best films of the year. I definitely gotta give it a rewatch myself. I think it hasn't flown under the radar for most people, but yeah, we should expect a lot from this film. I assume of the 13 nominations, it will at least get like 5 or so wins. Then second here, we got Poor Things. Also got the best picture, director, actress, actor, screenplay, cinematography, costume design, editing, makeup and hairstyling, production design, and original score nomination. I think that's pretty much an overlap apart from, I guess he calls it editing and film editing here, 2 different things, but it's the same. But they got nominated a couple of places where Poor Things didn't get in. Still a contender. I don't think it's gonna rival Oppenheimer for the main prize though. But Poor Things is such a delightfully weird film that hopefully a lot of people are discovering as it becomes more easily accessible. I know Oppenheimer is out on 4K Blu-ray already. Hopefully we'll get a digital release for Poor Things as well. So because I haven't seen it since I saw it in Venice back in August. So looking forward to a rewatch for this as well. Next up, Killers of the Flower Moon. Scorsese gets another directing nomination. Also Best Picture, Lily Gladstone and Robert De Niro in acting. Leonardo DiCaprio misses for lead, cinematography, costume design, editing, production design, score, and song, surprisingly, also got in, giving it a total of 10 nominations. I think this is one of the ones similar to a couple of years ago with Irishman, where the film will go home pretty much empty-handed. Apart from Lily Gladstone, I don't really see Scorsese winning. Picture, I think, is also a long shot. I don't see Robert De Niro winning. Cinematography, costume design, editing would all be surprising. We could see a win in editing. That's totally possible. And score would also be another one where it would deserve it as well, but it's got no shot against Barbie and song and Poor Things and Barbie and production design. But a really solid film that I've told people for a while now, you just gotta splice it up into a couple different goings. It's like a mini-series. I know a lot of people watch these mini-series all the time. Same for Killers of the Flower Moon. Next up, the aforementioned Barbie got 8 nominations, a bit ahead of Maestro and the other ones in the pack with 5 nominations. Got 2 in song, production design, costume design, really deserved that, and it also got for the performances of America Ferrera and Ryan Gosling. No Margot Robbie here. Was she Margot robbed? I don't think so. I also don't see America Ferrera really needing to be in there, but the supporting nominations were kind of mid. We'll get to that later on when a certain film has 2 nominations, when another one has 1, when the other one had 3 good. Hopefully you already share my pain and you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it also got adapted screenplay. It got moved from original to adapted, and that category is totally stacked now. And Best Picture as well. I think, hey, this more than $1 billion grosser doesn't need more introduction. I think it's really fun film. Also, these ratings aren't mine, by the way. You have to ignore them. Next up is Maestro. That got 7 nominations for Best Picture. Bradley Cooper gets no directing nomination, but he does get the leading role alongside Carey Mulligan. Another one for screenplay, cinematography, makeup, hairstyling, and sound. I think apart from the makeup and hairstyling, it doesn't really have a shot of getting pictures, screenplay, acting would also be kind of a long shot. Yeah, it's got some decent cinematography. I would have loved to have seen another film get in there that didn't get in. I think The Zone of Interest didn't end up getting a cinematography nomination. But speaking of The Zone of Interest, that one got 5. There's a couple of other ones, Holdovers and Anatomy of a Fall, that also got 5. By the way, if France had submitted Anatomy of a Fall, then it would have gotten 6, 1 over The Zone of Interest. But them being tied like this is kind of exciting. Both got the director nomination. Both got, well, I guess, no acting nominations for The Zone of Interest, but it did get the screenplay in 2 different categories. Anatomy got editing, and Zone got sound. So ultimately, I think Anatomy still has a stronger package and would have won in this category, but I don't think it's gonna win like Best Picture, but it's a pretty solid pack when you got picture, director, like an acting, performance, screenplay, and editing. I think it's gonna go home empty-handed. unfortunately. Would be a happy surprise if it gets any of the wins. The Zone of Interest, just a stellar movie. Not a lot of people have been able to see it yet, just because it hasn't released for them. But it's definitely gonna win the best international feature category. We got some snubs in that category. We got Io Capitano in there, surprisingly, but no Fallen Leaves. I think we also had no Four Daughters, if I remember correctly. Instead, we got Perfect Days, which only got one nomination, but I'm really happy about it. But yeah, also surprised to see a couple of international directors in here, in director with Justine Triet. Then we got Jonathan Glazer, and then also up here with Yorgos Lanthimos, you know, a bit of Greek representation alongside, I guess, Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan. The Holdovers, bit of a dark horse. It's gonna win some Oscars for sure. It's got a shot at screenplay. I don't think it's gonna win in editing or picture, but he could steal the win away in lead from Cillian Murphy, who's definitely the front runner there. I think it's pretty much a lock for supporting performance for Divine Joan Randolph, and yeah, it's got a pretty solid screenplay to itself as well, even though I do have another favorite in that original screenplay category. Well, actually two, with Anatomy of a Fall and May December, and May December only got one nomination, no acting nomination, which I guess is pretty much the only other thing that it could have gotten. None of them. No Julianne Moore. Yeah, no Charles Melton, just no one got in from that cast. A bit sad. Which, by the way, skipping ahead, Nyad, the only movie I think definitely doesn't deserve to be in here, but Annette Bening and Jodie Foster both get acting nominations. Yeah, it's a bit bizarre, but hey, Jodie Foster's the best thing about Nyad. Am I sad though that she got in over some other people? I don't really think so, because supporting was a bit weaker. I would have loved to have seen Julianne Moore in there, but I guess the actors are just kind of hating that one. Past Lives only got 2 nominations. Really underperformed for a film that we thought could have been a dark horse to maybe win Best Picture. It didn't get directing for Celine Song. We got no nominations for either of the leagues, from Teo Yo to Greta Lee. Neither of them got in there. No editing, no score. That was robbed even before the shortlist came out, but it got into original screenplay. I would be really happy if either Past Lives, Anatomy, or preferably, I guess, The Zone of Interest is adapted, wins here. But yeah, then Coleman Domingo won for Rustin. I think that's worth checking out for his performance, but other than that, it's a pretty run-of-the-mill standard biopic. Best Actress, only one nomination for The Color Purple, movie that early in the year was considered for maybe even Best Picture, and among other things, didn't get in with song even at all. Just Danielle Brooks in supporting. May December, yes, only the one nomination for original screenplay. Society of the Snow gets the makeup and hairstyling that it definitely deserves. I'm glad it got that. I'm a bit sad that Priscilla didn't get any love here, but that's that. The Teachers Lounge got in for Germany, and then we got the international features here with Io Capitano, Perfect Days, Teachers Lounge, Society of the Snow, and then I guess a bit higher up, The Zone of Interest. Those are our 5s. So like I said, no Fallen Leaves. The biggest surprise here is, I think, Io Capitano that managed to get in. And then, yeah, an animated feature. We have the battle between the Boy and the Heron and Spider-Verse. We don't get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as well as Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget. Instead, we get the pleasantly surprising Robot Dreams. And Nimona is also a really solid film that you can check out on Netflix. Napoleon, surprisingly, gets 3 nominations. None of the really big ones, but surprisingly, it does pick up one for visual effects, which I'm kind of glad about, because it does have some really great use of effects in those battle scenes, production design, and costume design. Again, surprising. Some people hated that film, but at least for those 3 things, I think it deserves to be nominated. Surprising that the creator got not only visual effects, but also sound. I would hope it wins Best Visual Effects. Same goes for Mission Impossible, that got sound and visual effects. I think it will go home empty-handed. Bit surprising that El Conde got nominated, Pablo Lerón's Netflix film, but it's got black and white. It's really stylistically interesting, but it's interesting that they have Poor Things and El Conde both nominated for cinematography when they're both kind of really out there. Golda, big old schnozer on Helen Mirren. That's why they got nominated there. Indiana Jones somehow got in for original score. The score category was just... It was bad. It was bad. I think Spider-Verse, I don't know if this is right. I thought that Spider-Verse didn't even get the nominations, but anyways, I'll just keep going. Original song, of course, the Diane Warren slot got filled by Flaming Hot. It's a really bad film, but hey, I haven't seen American Symphony, but yeah, there's some smaller ones. Godzilla -1 got visual effects alongside Guardians of the Galaxy. 20 Days in Mariupol didn't get a nod in international feature, but did get the one in documentary. This is also wrong. I don't know, this guy, I guess this list is wrong. I'm just having a wrong list here because Beyond Utopia actually missed. And this as well, still a Michael J. Fox story also didn't get in. So we're gonna move away from this list. Let me know what the biggest snubs were in your opinion and what you were the happiest about. Again, I'm the happiest about Perfect Days making it in there. I know it's gonna lose out to the Zone of Interest, but that's a good film to lose against because that's another incredible film. But keep on watching movies. Check out the Quiet on Set podcast. We talk about film news and all the films we watched. Plus some spoiler reviews for some of the films that you just saw on the list that are already in the channel, and as soon as they become more available are also going to be out. For example, this week we're going to talk about Fallen Leaves, which is one that did miss the nomination but definitely would have deserved it over maybe something like Io Capitano. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, keep on watching movies and I'll see you soon.